Alright, today we are collecting birch bark to make birch bark oil, or what they used to call it, Russian oil. So we're going to collect the birch bark from dead birch trees. You can do it with living trees, but we prefer using the dead ones. So they're all around us, so we're going to go ahead and start collecting them.
Ooh,
Tons of ants. Take off birch bark. Is you're gonna make a slit in this bark, and then you're gonna take your knife, get right in underneath there, and start popping it up. Well, it looks like this one's covered in ants.
yeah, they all done.
You're gonna pop it up. Peel it off. You're gonna keep doing that. All the way down through. What you're doing is you're extracting the oils out of the bark. Just make your slit. Pry it up with your knife. And peel it off. In about 10 years you'll have chaga on this yellow birch due to the damage right in here. All the damage in here, you'll have a great medicinal mushroom. So let's keep marching forward. So we got a birch tree up here. It was 7500 BC, I want to say. They found chewing gum made out of birch tar. There's a bunch of it here.
There's an old chaga.
There's an old chaga mushroom, like I was just telling you about right here. And when you're watching other YouTubers, pay attention to their surroundings, because they're not going to point things out like we do. You know, the fall of the leaves on the ground, the types of bark on the trees. They could tell you one thing and it's a totally different tree.
We're out here today doing this birch bark video, and lo and behold, we find chanterelle. This is what they look like. We got the gills on the bottom. One way to tell absolutely if you have a chanterelle is put it in a bag, 5-10 minutes, it'll smell just like apricots. If it don't smell like apricots, you got the false one. So if it smells like apricot, you got the real thing. These are delicious.
There you go.
Digging a hole here so we can do our birch oil extractions. We got to bury a can. We're going to put another can on top that the birch bark goes inside, and it's pretty much going to steam it to release the oils. And when the oils get released, they will drip down into another can that we have buried in the dirt underneath. So that's what I'm doing now. Got our fire pit done here. Just remember, whenever you're going to build a fire in the woods, use precaution, dig a hole, line it with rocks, so that way there you're not spreading Your fire's not going to spread on you. Now we're going to get some wood processed, get this thing fired up, and let's get her going.
You're doing it wrong. Moss to clean out the jar,
No,
or the can.
Fish rag.
I was busting my ass.
Up.
Put it off screen. There you go. Alright, we got our bottle of water just in case we do need it for this fire. You're going to take a small can and you're going to put it inside this hole. Okay, just like that. And as precautions so we don't get dirt in with our oil because we want it as clean as possible, we're going to put a piece of aluminum foil in on top of here and then fill it in with dirt. I usually almost always carry aluminum foil on me. It's got a lot of different uses. I'm going to cover up this hole. Now we're going to fill it with dirt. Where'd you put all the dirt?
I use the shovel, make some more dirt. Shovel's right there.
I'm telling you, by the end of the day, I'm going to bust my ass.
Riley.
And take it from the sides too. And fill it in around that can and pack it down. Once you get a little bit closer, and lift this up a little bit at a time. Just try to keep that dirt out of there.
Mosquitoes are terrible today.
They are terrible. Hey, at least deer flies aren't out. Oh my goodness.
I'd rather deal with mosquitoes than deer flies.
And deer fly, when they bite, they take a chunk of flesh out of you. And they are horrible.
Feels that way anyways, it does.
Get some more of this dirt down in here. You see all the dirt.
Y'all seeing we use the small soup can to catch our birch oils. We have a 5-pound can from Artichoke Arts. This is what we're going to use to put the birch bark in. We got to punch a hole in the bottom so that the oils can drain out of. So I just use a good old hatchet. Give her a hole in the middle, like that. I'm gonna take it and place it like so.
Make sure your hole is inside the small can,
Yes.
or you're going to lose all the benefits from this oil. Now we're going to stuff that big can with all of the birch bark. We have to get it as tight as possible. Alright, some people do roll up the birch bark to make a tighter fit. You can either shred it or pack it in like he is. It doesn't really matter what way you do it.
Just get it done.
Some of the health benefits from this oil may help prevent bacterial, fungal infection. So if you get cut, take a little bit of your oil, wipe it on the cut, good to go. Helps aid diabetes management. Helps reduce pain. Relieves symptoms of arthritis. It acts as a skin toner. Detoxify your body. Help treat skin disease. May promote urination.
Okay, so now, one of the things with extracting the birch oils is you have to have a completely sealed container to evacuate the oils out of the bark. So what I'm going to do is take some heat tape that you can get at your local hardware store. I'm going to seal the top of this with this heat tape.
This is for the birch tar. Say you got a hole in your sneaker. That'll work as a glue. It'll work on your backpacks, tents, cans, anything that your mind can think of, you can use it. So what DJ did was left about an inch to a half an inch above this can so he could fold over the heat resisting tape, which you get at your local hardware store. And all he's doing is going around the can and folding it over now.
This is not a short process. This takes a few hours to extract the oils out of this bark. So if it's something that you don't have time to do, don't do it, because
it takes about 2 hours to do this process.
So if you don't have 2 hours to dedicate to doing something like this, don't even bother to try. You're just going to waste your time, and you get no benefit from it. So what's the point of doing it if you're not able to do it?
If you let it run too long, it is going to turn into birch tar, which is perfectly fine with us too, because we can plan on making some birch tar too. So make sure that hole is centered with your can. That part is very important. If not, you're shit out of luck, and it's highly flammable. So use precautions when doing this.
And another good benefit of extracting oil out of birch bark is it's the best fire starter you could find in the woods.
Alright, so our top can don't move. DJ's gonna go ahead and pack that dirt around it while I hold this still. It is physically possible to do this by yourself, just by placing a rock on top of it.
Yeah, but then you're wobbly.
Yeah, it is wobbly. There you go. See, balance your rock on there. Good to go. I'll move it for better view for you on what he's doing.
Uh-oh.
Starting to rain, so we gotta set up shelter. That's alright. There you go.
So, we just took our can off, and lo and behold, we have, you can see that in there, I don't know if you can, but I'll try to slash it around. See it? Yeah, oh yeah, I see it now. But yeah, there's a piece of birch bark in there. I put in there so that you can see the liquid. But we have successfully extracted birch bark
Oil.
Which is pretty cool. Grab them pliers.
Yep.
Make sure you don't lose that.
I got it. Go ahead and show you what your ash is supposed to look like. Get the shovel so you can put it in there. And at least attempt to get that lid out. There we go. Now we got the lid out. Then you see why we say pack it as full as you can. You don't get a lot of birch oil out of that for 2 hours, but it's got a lot of uses. That papery look that you have. I'll grab my phone so you can have some light. That papery oil, or paper from the birch bark.
And to be honest,
we could have went longer.
This is not done. Like you can see, yeah, how oily that is. It smells amazing.
There's the shovel so you can.
Like.
And that's what the birch bark's supposed to look like when it's done.
In which we haven't even burnt through all of the birch bark that is in this pot. There's still several inches, which I will flip and show you here. Look at that.
So that's within 2 hours of us doing this. Well, we could have let it go 3-4 hours
This could take
at max.